Hello, viewers. Welcome to the Voice of Reason. My name is WJWM, Jeff John Mwanamzaledo. With me today is Dr. Mwangi Jorori Mutahi. Dr. Mwangi is the CEO and Director of Living Health Center in Nyeri. Dr. Mwangi is also a researcher and a natural therapist. Karibu sana daktari. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Health Living Center.
Oh, it is
Health
Living Center.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Welcome, daktari.
Okay.
So today we are going to tackle the topic of fasting, so that you can tell us much more about fasting and what are the benefits of fasting. Probably you can start by telling us what is fasting and why is it important to us.
Thank you. I'm glad to join you on this topic, which I think is very, very important, and it's important for anybody concerned with good health to understand it. Basically, when we talk of fasting, we are talking of having a period during our 24-hour day cycle, or a weekly cycle, or a monthly cycle, when you have limited your uptakes of foods and drinks. And basically what it does is that it gives the body time to cleanse itself, to detox itself, and to also repair and renew. And it's also a way of boosting body's energy. And because what happens these days is that we tend to be eating a lot of food, and eating very frequently, and a lot of time the wrong foods.
So, Daktari,
Yes.
are you suggesting that the cycle
Yes.
that we normally follow,
Yes.
I was thinking about it the other day, and I was
Yes.
asking myself,
Yes.
where did this come from?
Yes.
Because we wake up in the morning,
Yes.
we have to take breakfast.
Yes, for
And,
most
if,
people,
and
yes.
if I'm right,
Yes.
we've been told and we've
Yes.
been taught that
Yes.
it is important to have a very big meal in the morning as your breakfast.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
it's also routine
Yes.
that at 10 o'clock,
Yes.
you need to take something like tea,
Yes.
some snacks,
Some snack, yeah.
some biscuits,
Yes.
such things like that.
Yes.
Then come one o'clock,
Yes.
you have to take another meal that's called lunch.
Yes.
And at 4 o'clock, then you need to take 10 o'clock tea and also with some snack.
Yes.
And that is before you take your
4 o'clock.
your-
4 o'clock.
Yeah,
not
that's
10
4.
o'clock.
That's
4
4 o'clock.
Yes.
And then you also have your dinner.
Dinner, and sometimes something before dinner.
Yes.
For most people.
For most people.
And sometimes before bed,
Uh-huh.
they are also snacking or drinking something.
Are you challenging this? Are you trying to challenge this cycle?
Yes. It's obvious that we are overeating. If you count all those number of times that you are eating and drinking, we are looking at a minimum of 5 meals, and sometimes for some people 7 or 8 meals. That is including the drinks and the snacks. Our ancestors, which is not too long ago, were surviving on possibly 1 meal a day.
Yeah.
And not the kind of foods that we are eating today. They were natural foods, whole foods, with fiber, no chemicals, no refined sugars. And what happens is that we still have those genes. And basically what we are doing, we are overloading our bodies with mostly carbohydrates and proteins. And when you do that, it means that your pancreas, which produces insulin to manage the sugar levels in the body, is at work throughout. If you consider a pancreas like a small factory, it means that you are not giving it time to rest. You are not giving it time to recover. You are not giving it time to repair and to renew. And then what happens is, when you consume so much carbohydrate, then there's so much insulin in the body, because the pancreas is at work throughout, so it's producing a lot of insulin. So your body cells are exposed to a very high level of insulin. Now, what happens then when your sugar levels happen to spike and you need to bring them down? We are still relying on the same mechanism for the pancreas to produce insulin to trigger the body to lower the sugar levels in the bloodstream. But when you are in such a situation whereby your body cells or your system is exposed to very high levels of insulin, then the system will not respond as appropriate. No wonder we have so many cases of diabetes. And type 2 diabetes, including young kids.
So, Daktari, are you suggesting that we are responsible ourselves
Definitely,
for triggering
yes,
such diseases as diabetes?
Of course, we are responsible, because whatever goes into your mouth and into your stomach, you are responsible, unless you are a small infant who is being fed. So we are basically poisoning our bodies with overeating, and with overeating the wrong things, and of course, also consuming a lot of chemicals, which are in our food chain. They are in the air, they are in the water systems. That's the situation that we are in.
I agree. I agree with you, Dr. Ali.
Yes.
So, therefore, in fasting, what do you recommend? How would you say that
yes.
we go about it? And
Yes.
who should who is qualified for fasting?
Everybody is qualified for fasting, except maybe young kids who are growing, or possibly someone who is recovering from some illness, or who is requiring maybe to take maybe high doses of medication. All of us, we can benefit from fasting. And basically, like we say, it's going through a period in your cycle, either a day cycle or a weekly cycle or a monthly cycle. It can be a few extended hours of fasting in a day, or it can be a few days in a week, or a certain number of days in a week, or it can be a certain number of days in a month. But normally, personally, I practice what we call intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting means...
Please elaborate intermittent.
Intermittent means you are on, you are off. You are on, you are off. It's just like intermittent wipers on the vehicles. And basically what you do with intermittent fasting, personally, I skip breakfast. I don't do breakfast. So my first meal of the day will be lunch. And then I'll have another meal, that is supper. So between lunch and supper, I have about 6 to 8 hours of feeding. That's my window.
6 to 8 hours.
6 to 8 hours.
Yes.
A minimum of 6 hours.
From lunch to
a maximum
supper.
of 8 hours, depending on when you eat and how long it takes you to eat. Now, between supper and my next meal, which is lunch, that is about 16 to 18 hours. Normally, when we eat food, it takes about 12 hours to be completely digested in our system. That's why when you are going for a surgery, they tell you not to have supper or to have breakfast. Now, after that 12 hours, any extra time that you extend without eating, that is what now we call fasting.
Dr.
Yes.
Don't you think what you are recommending is a bit different from the norm, from what we know? As recommended by most other health quarters, they talk of us taking a heavy breakfast, and that we also take lunch. Perhaps what we can skip is supper. What is the difference?
No, but by the way, if you did breakfast and you did lunch and skipped supper, you still get the same benefit.
It's the same.
Because from lunch through no supper to breakfast the following day, that is 16 to 18 hours.
Oh, yes.
But what I thought your question would be is most people are advised you take heavy breakfast, and then of course you still do lunch, and you still do supper.
Yes.
If you do that, then you don't have the benefit of the fasting, because like I point out, we need that 12 hours for the food to clear from the digestive tract, and then you have now the 6 to 8 hours for the fasting. And like I point out, you don't have to fast every day. Personally, I do fast every day, but you don't have to fast every day. Some people choose to fast a certain number of days in a week. It could be still intermittent fasting, but you are doing it maybe during the weekend or during the weekdays, because it also depends on your lifestyle. If you are a construction worker somewhere doing heavy lifting, I expect you to have breakfast.
Definitely, yes.
I also expect you maybe to have lunch. Because
you're continuing with the work.
You need to burn so much calories. But for the majority of the people, that number of meals that we have discussed here is basically poisonous to the body. Because you're not uptaking excess carbohydrates. Like I point out, most of the foods that you eat today, they are processed, they are preserved foods, they are foods that have gone through fertilizers, spraying chemicals. They are exposed to fumes, auto fumes, when they are being transported. In some other areas where they are stored also, there are issues. So basically, it will be very helpful for the body for you to have periods when you are really post no food, and you take a lot of water. Good water. It's good to point out that.
Good water, not just any water.
It needs to be good water, because sometimes some of the water also, a lot of the water that we consume is also contaminated. You do that, you realize after going through an initial period, for most people it's about 3 weeks to about a month, the body will have adapted to the new environment. But it's also good to point out that if and when you decide to practice intermittent fasting, you should be modest in terms of getting into the program. If you are starting from 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and supper, and you decide, like myself now, to eliminate breakfast, you can start by lowering the quantity of the breakfast that you're having. And then the other thing that you can also do is that you can delay the time when you have your breakfast. If you normally have it at 8 a.m.,
you take it at 9.
You can take it to 9 a.m. Then you go to 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. In a period of maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you'll find that you'll not crave for anything during the breakfast time. Then you'll be able to now go to lunch and you go to supper. Now, where do you get the energy when you're fasting? Our bodies have two main sources of energy. You have the sugar that is in the bloodstream.
Yes.
But when that sugar is depleted, two things will happen. The body will automatically switch to burning fat from your body to provide you with energy, or now you may have the craving that you find a lot of people having when they have to eat or snack on something every 2 or 3 hours. So, but when you train it appropriately, you'll find that you can go for not just 16 or 18 hours. You can even go for 24 hours. You can even go for 36 hours. Because like we say, most of our bodies have a lot of energy reserves. Actually, a lot of us are overweight.
True.
So you have a lot of fat to burn. But the issue here is just going through that training period for the body. And when you do that, what are the benefits? A lot of people are struggling with weight. You know, and when you go to intermittent fasting, one of the benefits is that the body is burning fat as an energy source. So some of that fat, it gets rid of fat very easily.
It's reducing the body automatically.
Yeah, very easily. And also because you're also giving the body times to cleanse, to repair, you will find that your energy levels, despite reward amount of food and the frequency,
the energy levels
go up.
Okay.
You feel the moods are good. You are sleeping better. Even for libido, for both men and women, it's better.
Dr. I think we are done with the why and who should fast. But now again, I would want us to talk more about the benefits that one gets from fasting. Can we talk about the benefits again and clearly?
Thank you. I think you have talked about the benefits in terms of weight management.
Yes.
But let me explain a little bit why you manage your weight better when you are fasting.
Yes.
When you fast, your body is able to get rid of toxins in the body. Also toxins and pathogens, bacteria, virus, and the fungus.
Yes.
When you do that, then the body is able now to release fat and water. A lot of time, when you see the body retaining a lot of fat and water, it's because the body is trying to sort of dilute the problems that are in the body. If you have a lot of toxins, the body will not naturally go into small size, because then the toxins will be concentrated in your system, or the pathogens. But now when you cleanse and detox, then there will be no need for the body to retain a lot of fat and a lot of water. So you get that. Obviously, when you lose weight, you can move around easily. You have less, weight on your body. So your skeleton, your whole body system is also relieved. When we carry a lot of weight, also we are putting a lot of stress on our joints,
our joints,
the general skeleton.
Even the whole skeleton is under pressure.
Yes, it's under pressure. And also the organs are under pressure, because when you have weight, the volume is bigger. If it's the heart now, it's having a bigger area. So that's very important. Also, you find that with people who have even chronic illnesses, a lot of those illnesses come about as a result of toxins and pathogens, uchafu mwingi kwa mwili. So when you get rid of them, you'll find that if you had a certain inflammation, for instance, causing arthritis, you'll find that going away. We have had cases of people who are maybe like asthmatic. Asthmatic, they cleanse, they detox, and the asthma goes away.
Now, Dr. I think I'm going to stop you there, because my director is telling me that we are time up for the first session. But when we come back, you'll be able to explain further on that point. And especially the point where you've said that too much water, too much fat, too much toxins in our bodies are not good for our bodies. You'll explain that. So viewers, we are taking a short break, and we'll be coming back soon.